Today is day 173 of my carnivore way of eating, and today we are making sauerkraut. I've got my mom with me here today and we're going to be making sauerkraut. Now I know what you're thinking. Sauerkraut, that is not a carnivore food, that's not meat, that's not fat, it is vegetables. But if you have listened to the advice of Dr. Sean O'Mara, you would know that he says that the most optimal way to eat is to eat low carb, high meat, high fat, and have fermented vegetables. Now sauerkraut is fermented cabbage. My mom, she's been making sauerkraut ever since the spring because she's been fermenting foods a lot, and so today we're going, and I've been eating some of these fermented vegetables as well. She eats them a lot. We eat them with our meat. I like to have the sauerkraut with Polish sausages. We are out of sauerkraut, we need more, and so we're gonna make some tonight. And so we're just gonna go through the process of making that. So if you wanna follow along with us and make your own sauerkraut, you can, and you can use this video as a guide. So let's get into it. What are we gonna do first, Mom?
Well, the first thing is, so we've got a couple of heads of cabbage, and we have a purple and a green. The first thing we have to do is we have to remove the outer leaves.
So just the wilty ones, right?
Yep. Anything that's damaged, you want to take off, or anything that's wilted.
Well, I've got my nice green cabbage here. It's looking fresh, looking good. Now we're gonna cut it in half, right?
Yep.
So right now I'm taking out the core of the cabbage, so it's this big part that's less leafy than the rest of it. It's more, what would you call it, fibrous than the rest of the cabbage. I'm gonna be careful here. I just got that part, okay.
The next piece, just half it again.
Oh.
And then cut the core down the...
That's smart. Man. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's kind of embarrassing, but thank you. Thank you. Got all of our cabbage. It's been sliced and cored, and now we're gonna slice it up. Do you want to cut it up?
Yeah.
So now we got Mom. She's cutting up the cabbage.
It's just slicing it thin. You want it relatively uniform.
I mean, the slice really just depends on how you like it, right?
Yeah, part of the process is you massage this a lot.
Right.
So it's gonna get broken down quite a bit.
Because of the salt, right?
The salt and the squeezing, you'll see that later.
The red cabbage does look quite pretty. I mean, it's a very deep purple.
Ooh.
Are we gonna mix the...
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it all together.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it'll probably turn out purple.
When you look at the cross section of a red cabbage, it kind of looks like an alien.
You know what aliens look like?
Like what your typical idea of an alien, right?
Ugh.
That's really satisfying to watch, actually.
Some next ASMR, AMSR. I don't know what those are.
It's ASMR, man. Our next step is to give the cabbage a good massage, right?
Yep.
Next, we're gonna massage it with the stuff that we're putting it with, right? So what are we putting?
The first thing that we do is we take salt. This is unrefined sea salt.
Mine right here in Utah.
That's right. And we're gonna put a tablespoon in each of these.
Okay. Tablespoon.
You can do up to 2 tablespoons, but I like it a little less salty.
I don't really care.
You want enough that you get that kind of the saline solution so that it actually preserves it and ferments it rather than letting it mold.
All right, and then how much? And then, okay, so we've got the salt in there now. This is caraway seed.
We're gonna do that last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Okay.
it.
So we're just gonna
So
take
now
it.
we just massage.
Yep. I'm just gonna. My fingers are gonna be purple after
This
this.
is gonna be painful because I have dry hands right now that are cracking, but I will suffer through it for you guys. Yeah, it's not that bad.
Because you've been dying to know.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have been like dying to know how to make sauerkraut. It's not that bad. So we went to the gym today, and today we did the CrossFit Total. Well, we kind of did the CrossFit Total, and that's basically where you max out on 3 different lifts, and typically those lifts are back squat, strict press, and deadlift. But today we did back squat, strict press, and power cleans. And
Why?
what?
Why did
Oh,
we do
because
that?
we did that because we maxed out on deadlifts this last Friday. And you're not supposed to max out on the same lift within such a small amount of time of one another. And so today we did that. We did the CrossFit Total for those lifts. And I was able to get a new PR for my back squat and then also for my strict press, which was really exciting. My hands are starting to hurt. I don't know. Okay, it's just glitching out.
I think we can probably combine those.
All right, you ready to combine them? I'm gonna get a spoon.
No, we don't have to. Just dump it.
Okay.
I'll just use my hands.
That's what they're for. I actually really like that color combination.
I don't think it'll stay that way. I think
No.
everything will end up purple.
But purple and green are 2 of my favorite colors, I think. And I love putting them together. So purple and green sauerkraut, that is right up my alley. Very Halloween colored. We should have done this like Halloween time. It's okay though. It's kind of crazy how fast this season has like crept up on us, huh?
Definitely.
Like, it's already 2 weeks until Christmas. That's just kind of insane to me, because December, didn't it just start like 2 days ago? I thought so, but nope.
All right. Now we have to let it sit.
We have to let it sit. Okay.
And then we're going to come back and massage it a little bit more. That salt and the working that we've done is going to break down the cell walls a little bit more. It'll release more moisture. That'll basically be the brine that it ferments in, and we'll go from there.
Right. Chaps. So, my interview with Dr. Chafee aired a couple weeks ago, and if you didn't watch it, I had a really good discussion with him, and I got to share my story on his podcast. I had mentioned how like the first context that I had ever heard about carnivore was hearing about Michelle Hearn's story of how she had an eating disorder when she was younger, grew up and became a dietitian. She found the carnivore way of eating and she used it, and it helped heal her body, and then it also helped heal like her mind and helped her recover from her eating disorder. So I mentioned that, and then Michelle Hearn actually reached out to me on Instagram after seeing it on Dr. Chafee's YouTube video, and I chatted with her a little bit on Instagram. We exchanged some messages. She was so nice to talk to. I really enjoyed talking to her, and she's somebody who I really look up to, just because of like her story, her story with her anorexia, her becoming a dietitian, then her discovering the low carb lifestyle, and then now she's advocating for it because, I don't know, I just relate to it a lot. Yeah, I really connected with her story. And then Michelle was actually she was kind enough to send me a copy of her book, The Dietitian's Dilemma. It's this book that she wrote about nutrition and like guidelines and using a low-carb lifestyle to get healthy. I'm like 2/3 of the way through it so far. I've really been enjoying it. It talks about like a lot of things, a lot of topics that, I mean, if you're in the carnivore community, you've probably heard about or read about. I mean, Michelle goes over her story. She goes over diabetes. She goes over mental illness and eating disorders and sarcopenia, and also like where our nutrition guidelines even came from. That's where I'm at in the book so far, at least. And I've really been enjoying it so far. The stuff I'm reading in here is super interesting. Oh yeah, no, I'm learning a lot of things as well. The things I'm learning is so interesting to me. I mean, I keep telling my mom about it, like when we're out together, I'm like, oh, and Michelle wrote about this and this and another thing, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the things I'm reading about in the book. I mean, if you're interested in checking it out, it's The Dietitian's Dilemma. It's sold on Amazon, I think, and it's written by Michelle Hearn. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and give her a little shout out just because I respect her so much and I look up to her. But yeah, I think that's it. So back to the sauerkraut now.
1 hour later.
Okay, so it's been an hour now and our sauerkraut has been sitting for that time. And so now we're just gonna give it one final little massage and then we'll put it into its jar to ferment. Okay. Oh, and we gotta add the caraway seeds. How much caraway seed do we add?
I believe it's a teaspoon. Yeah, gonna massage it some more.
Do you think the seeds even add anything? Like,
I do, I like them.
Okay. And then this will be fermenting for 14 days. And so it'll sit in our basement in our storage room.
And it needs to be in a dark place.
And then once it's done fermenting, you can put it in the fridge. And then it keeps pretty well for a long time, right?
For a long time, yeah.
That looks pretty good though.
Let's see, we've got the...
Oh yeah, all the juice. That's the stuff it ferments in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is our half-gallon jar. Yeah, that's really broken down a lot, even just in like the past hour. How was that, Dandy?
It needs to, all of the vegetable material needs to stay under the brine. So they say that you can take cabbage leaves and press them down so that everything stays below
the brine.
Yeah.
So these are our weights that we use to make sure that the vegetable matter stays below the water level, right?
Yeah. So we use the kind of lid that has a little valve in it, and that valve lets out any gases that are put off by things, so we don't have to burp it all the time. If you're using a regular mason lid that doesn't have this little valve, you have to go and open the jar every couple of days to let out the air that's in it.
That just goes in the basement in the storage for the next 2 weeks, and then it'll be ready.
Yep.
It's late now. I'm tired. I usually go to bed earlier than this, but we did it for the sauerkraut.
And for you.
And for you. Yeah. So, that was my first time making sauerkraut. It was an interesting experience. Not quite as... Okay, sorry, Snappy's being weird. Not quite as... not quite as complicated as I thought it would be, which was a good surprise.
No.
Yeah, so that'll be ready, like I said, in a couple of weeks. Then I can post about it like on my Instagram, how it turns out. So if you want to see the results, then go follow me on my Instagram. And I think that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you made sauerkraut following along with us. And go eat some meat. Bye.
Christmas Day.
Christmas present for us.